Aashna, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
Absolutely. Okay, so I went off the bat, podcast host, honor student, author, dancer, the 3 books, beautiful. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But of course, Miss Florida's Outstanding Teen 2022, first ever South Asian. That is amazing. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you so much.
For all of us. How has that journey been?
It's been amazing, truly. I love to be able to represent India on the Miss America stage. I'm super excited. I'm going to be leaving in a few days. So I really think that this was needed to make sure that everyone in Florida that's from a minority knows that it's possible to win, and that knows it's possible for them to be up there on the Miss Florida's Outstanding Teen stage and even the Miss America's Outstanding Teen stage. So I'm really glad that I was able to be the first and show people that they can be up there as well.
You were talking about your podcast, which is through Kids, your nonprofit organization.
Yes.
Tell us more about Kids and how this came along as well.
Well, Kindness in a Diverse Society was sparked by when I went to India in 7th grade. So obviously every year I would go to India to visit my family, and we'd all do a service project when we went to India. And in 7th grade, we did a service project with an orphanage. And that really spoke to me because I was able to see these kids that were the same age as me, but in a completely different situation. And that's when I decided I wanted to come back to America and, make an impact and make change. And that's when me and my friends started getting talking, and ideas started getting floating around in the air. And then we decided to come up with Kindness in a Diverse Society, which is Kids. And since then, we've been able to help numerous organizations, Daniel Kids, Ronald McDonald House, Rethreaded, and we help abused, abandoned, neglected, food insecure, so many different kids that are all underprivileged that need our help. So we're so glad that we can help in so many areas, and we've been able to do lots of different fundraisers. We've had virtual dance competitions, we've had drives, we've had so many fun things that we've been able to do. And now it's even expanded from just helping underprivileged children with their basic necessities to also helping underprivileged children with learning disabilities.
No, absolutely. That's awesome. One thing I wanted to touch upon, of course, you've authored 3 books now, and of course,
yes,
the titles are amazing.
I have them right here.
Great, lovely. Let's have Amazing Adriana. ADHD is her superpower. There you go. There's Dynamic Dia. Dyslexia is her superpower, and of course, we have Brave Brian. Anxiety is his superpower. In the 8th grade, you were actually diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And
I was diagnosed with anxiety and dyslexia in 8th grade, and then in 9th grade I got diagnosed with ADHD.
Okay, and then you have put all that together, powerfully so, 3 books, 4 children, and these amazing illustrations. I forget the name of the illustrator, but it was on one of the books, but
Scribble Line, yes.
Yes. And how do you get this push to do all of this? And please tell us about your books, which are actually now available on Amazon for only $9.99. I'm going to put that plug in. Go get it.
Yes, thank you. So it started off in 8th grade. I was, flunking out of my science class, which is my favorite subject. I strived to go into the STEM field. So this was really very difficult for me. And my parents decided to get me tested, and they thought that was the best option. So when I went and got tested, they came back with, I have dyslexia and anxiety. And this was also when COVID started. So I was in a very low mental state. I was ashamed. I was heartbroken. I thought that I was less than and less intelligent. It was very hard for me because learning disabilities are this big stigma and this big taboo, especially in the Indian culture.
Absolutely.
So it was very difficult for me to embrace my learning disabilities. And then on top of that, we were trying to get accommodations going into high school, and accommodations are basically a way that kids with learning disabilities are able to even out the playing field at school. So they're given special accommodations that can help them with their extra time, or give them audibles. For me, I get audibles because of my dyslexia, and that's kind of a way that keeps it even in the school systems. So we couldn't get accommodations for me because I had gotten good grades my entire life. I was always a straight A student until that science class. So they weren't giving me accommodations, and my parents had to be my voice. They were my advocates. They were so supportive, and I didn't have a voice at that time. I wouldn't speak about my dyslexia. I wouldn't speak about my anxiety, but my parents were able to do that for me. And I'm so extremely thankful for that, because I finally got my accommodations. And going into freshman year, I really didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, whatever, like, I'm dyslexic. I'm probably just going to get like a normal corporate job. I'm not gonna be able to be the doctor that I want to become. So I was just, no hope going in. And then I started using my accommodations, and it was very helpful and very beneficial. And then I started advocating for myself more. I would tell my teachers, I need an audible for this. I need extra time. And it was like a flip of a switch. It was amazing, because I was finally seeing the work that I was putting in actually come out. That science class in 8th grade was my first high school class, and that was the first class that I didn't do well in. And now that I'm in high school, I need to do well in my classes. So being able to see all the work and effort that I put into my classes also come out in my grades was amazing, and it felt very rewarding. And I know that a lot of kids would be thankful for that feeling. So that's kind of where my journey started. And throughout this entire time, I was also journaling. So I was still not very confident, and it was a struggle for me. That's when I entered my first local in the beginning of sophomore year. And that was Wekiva Springs. I won Wekiva Springs Outstanding Teen. And then later on, thank you. Later on, I got diagnosed with ADHD. And again, I just went through that phase with very low mental health. And that's when I really needed the confidence. And that Wekiva Springs Outstanding Teen title gave me a voice. And I realized that with this title, I could change a lot of lives. If I'm able to speak about my learning disabilities, I enable so many other kids to speak about their learning disabilities. By saying that it's okay is telling others that it's okay. By talking about it, I'm breaking the stigma in the Indian culture. I'm breaking the stigma in America, because it is not really spoken of, learning disabilities.
Yes.
And so that's when I decided that I'm going to make my journals into books. So I wrote based off true stories and true experiences.
That is absolutely amazing. The more power to you, to your parents, and to friends and everyone around you that's made you power yourself a little bit more. Aashna, you're fabulous, and we have the right person going from the Sunshine State. Thank you so much, Aashna. All the very best. Take care.
Thank you.